Okay, same day. So anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. I'm filling it up. Thing is, I don't know. It's more like cream than it is like a yogurt, but for what it's worth, it's okay to still freeze and then use it as a dessert or, a side dish to a cereal or something. Hold on. Okay, same day, people. I went out. I went back to that house. They still have it on so-called lockdown. You'll see after this. I spoke with a female cop. She didn't really know too much. Just guarding the house, right? I guess they don't give them all the details. I don't know how their internal files work. But anyway, you'll hear the conversation. My feel on it was she was sincere, like just doing her job in terms of, she was a little girl, wanted to grow up and help the community, be a cop. And now that she's a cop, times have changed. It's not like the good old days when they used to have horses in British Columbia, Canada, that is, right? Before the horses were taken away by Ottawa, in the good old days. So anyway, she's caught up in the new days and, she didn't know too much other than what you're going to hear on the camera. And then when I shut off the camera, we basically talked about her great car that she had, because what stood out for me was it had a lot of paint chips on it. And if you know anything about the public union sector, they like everything nice and shiny, right? Especially police cars. So it really stood out. It was very odd to see that old clunker car that's like solid metal, and that's what she pointed out to me. So I'm like, oh, doesn't matter, because if somebody hits me, they're toast, not me, because it's like solid metal. And I'm like, yeah, that's good old days, right? It was an older model, right? And it wasn't one that they like to paint every year or whatever it is to make it pristine. So it had a lot of little paint chip flakes parts off, right? So, but all in all, I think she was genuine. Like I said, I don't think every cop is a bad cop, right? I think there are bad cops, and I think the swamp needs to be cleaned. But, so, I guess in a nutshell, basically what she said was that it's still under investigation through a special team. I asked her, I don't know if it was recording or not, probably, right? If that was the same department that was investigating Shamay, because I hit, right, in terms of what happened to Julian being shot down with a gun in front of a gas station. That's a completely different department, and I think from a workforce perspective, they're underfunded, and I think the BC Liberal government back in the day when they were in power tried to, do cutbacks on them and, limit their resources, which made it hard for them to investigate those types of murders, right? I'm pretty sure it was the BC Liberal government. I don't think it was the NDP, but don't quote me on that one, right? I don't really know for sure. I just know that for that particular, what is it called, department, they don't have enough, one, resources, and two, investigators. Whereas with Shamay, it would probably be what's happening with Ciera in terms of a special investigation. What I don't like, people, is the sneakiness around the body, right? Because they're just reinforcing everything I've been saying in terms of being body snatchers, modern day body snatchers, because of what happened to Shamay, to what happened to Shamay. And I should have still been able to see her, because I've just uploaded a video right now, people, and how do we know if Ciera is really alive or dead? It hasn't been confirmed, other than by strangers, whether they knew Ciera or not. And just in light of that phantom car now, right? And just the shady shit that was going on, and calling in the backup with that big dude that basically blocked the door, you know, and wouldn't even allow us to take a peek. Like, what the hell? And then when you look at, okay, I videotaped the house where her body was, and I'll see if I can do a live stream later on when things calm down. Tisha took Amari for a couple, 2-3 days so I can work in the yard, but it's raining and it's really, really cold. So I'll take it out tomorrow for a little while anyway, people. I'll just do the best that I can. And then obviously paperwork, right? But before I do the live stream and attempt that, when you're looking at the house, there's the door. Okay, now I'll just face this way. There is the door. And then, okay, so here's the door. And then on this side over here, that's not working very good. Okay, anyway, you're looking at the house. Here's the door. Right to the left is a window, right? And in that window, and I kind of make mention of it in this next video that I'm uploading with this, right? That's where Ciera was, right by the door frame. Because that room goes into the little foyer that goes into the living room, and then obviously the living room goes into the kitchen, which probably has a back porch which goes down into the back driveway, people. That's why that big 6'7" cop was standing in front of that door, and then when he opened the door, he made sure to look inside and put his big body there so that we couldn't see them moving Ciera's body out through the back. Okay? Now, the cop that I was talking to today, did she have anything to do with that? No, she didn't. Unfortunately, though, she's getting caught up in this drama, right? Because you have to understand here, the stakes are really high. Because Mayor McCullum, that's been... Andre, can you turn down that volume, please? Mayor McCullum, that got elected just recently to, you know, he wants to replace the RCMP with a local police department. Now, some people are saying he's just playing politics with the Punjabi community, right? He wanted votes from the Punjabi community, and that's why he ran on that platform. You elect me, and I'll get rid of the RCMP because they're ineffective. I don't know if he straight up called them corrupt, but he wants his own Surrey police force. Now, Delta has their own police force. Vancouver has their own police force. But when you look at illegal organ harvesting, right, it doesn't matter whether it's the RCMP or if it's a local police force, because the system is already in place. So what Mayor McCullum is doing by getting rid of the RCMP, because that's what he's working on right now, okay, isn't going to stop what's happening. Whether it's the RCMP that are doing it, or whether it's the local police department that's doing it. Because it's being done one way or another. Do we know what happened to Ciera? No, we don't. We're working on finding out the truth, right? I mean, obviously we're going to make mistakes along the way in terms of over-speculating what could have happened, what should have happened, what didn't happen, what maybe happened. You know, our imagination stations are running wild right now. But I think the RCMP kind of have to take some responsibility for that. Because if my daughter, let's just say, had been beat and her face was all mucked up because she wasn't looking pretty, people, or whatever, and they didn't have to let my kids in. They could have let me just look 30 seconds, people, enough for me to say, okay. The worst I would have done is came on camera and say she was attacked. Somebody attacked her. Did it mean that John dude attacked her? Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. Somebody else could have came up through the back, maybe when John was having a shower, and attacked Ciera and ran out the door. We don't know. The point is the cops mishandled it and tried to hide something. And I, what? So I wouldn't get upset seeing my daughter beat, when in my mind, over the years, I've already visualized her being beat so many times to the point where she actually died, not to mention knowing that she's been beat over the years. Maybe somebody went in there and gouged out her eyes, because in 2018, a woman was found not even 200 feet away from me down in the ravine with that same situation. And then a few years back from that, from 2018, Janice Shore, not even 10, 15 blocks away from me, was hung in a tree with her eyes gouged out. Is that what they were protecting me from, people? Either or, they should have let me see. Because if they would have let me see, I would have been on their side to find out more information. Right? I would have been more supportive with what they were doing. Instead, like I said, they're fucking mocking me. But when you come into contact with an individual cop that's just sitting there guarding a house, doesn't have the whole file, right, which would be practical because she's just a beat cop kind of driving around in the neighborhood, and she's not a special investigator, so she wouldn't have access to that file. But she knows something's up because she has, she's being paid to sit there and guard the house, right along with one cop in the back, two cop cars. I asked her where the dude was. She didn't know. I said, well, is he in jail? I don't know. Okay, well, nobody knows. He's missing in action too. So you get my point, all right? Okay, people, as you can see, there's a cop car there. All right, just... go slow. Can you stop? A little further. I'm gonna go talk to them. Hi.
Hi.
I'd like to know where my daughter's body is.
Currently in custody of...
Pardon me?
It's currently in custody of the BC coroner service. Can you just back up? I'll get out and talk to you. So, have you not talked to the coroner?
No.
Really? My understanding was that you did talk to her.
She kicked me out.
That's fine. You weren't allowed in, right? So technically...
Why wouldn't I be allowed in? I should identify the body, because as it is right now, I don't even know if my daughter is dead or alive.
Okay.
Nobody verified from the family. You're smiling. Nobody verified from the family perspective that Ciera is even dead.
Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not involved in any of that.
I understand that.
So my understanding is it's a scene. So unfortunately, we can't let anybody in. It's not a matter of it being you, and I'm sorry that you feel like you've been unjustly heard. But you will be contacted. But right now, she is in. If it is your daughter.
She is my daughter. Oh, yeah, actually, you're right. If it is my daughter, because nobody, I don't know. I'm not my son, my daughter, me. We never seen Ciera. All we seen was an arm, and we were told that it was Ciera. So assuming that it is my daughter who died in this house, assuming that somebody did die in this house.
Yeah, she would be in the custody of the coroner. Okay?
Where's the person that lives there?
He's obviously not here.
Not in jail?
What? He's not here. I don't know where he is. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't have...
You know where he is.
No, unfortunately, I don't have the details of the investigation.
Oh, really?
No,
How come they keep you in the dark?
Because I'm just here to make sure that nobody comes in and out. That's all my job is.
Oh. And my daughter apparently died March 28th. Today is March 30th. So this is 2 days and you guys are still guarding this house. And everybody's missing in action. The dude that owns this house or lived in this house is missing in action. Because you say it's private information and you not even you being told. And my daughter's body is missing in action.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Have you talked to the lead investigator of this home?
When I came here that evening and there was a vehicle out here, he wouldn't give me that person's name.
So, you can leave your name and contact number with me. I'm happy to forward it on.
I'm really not too happy with the police right
You're suffering a loss, right? I wouldn't
now. No,
expect you to
it's
be
more
happy.
than that.
I wouldn't expect you to be happy at all.
It's more than that.
That's fine, you don't have to like me.
It's not that I don't like you. I don't know you. How can I not like you if I don't know you? I don't necessarily like your organization in terms of the corruption in it.
Sorry, what's your first name?
Judy.
What's your last name, Judy?
Chorney.
C.
So I guess I can't go back there, eh?
No. Sorry, could you spell the last name for me?
Chorney.
And do you have a contact number, like phone number or something?
Well, 604. Constable Johnny called me.
Oh, so you didn't talk to someone?
Yeah, but I told him to look into Ciera's medical files.
Sorry, was it Corporal Andre Johnny? Is that who it was?
Johnny was his last name.
Okay.
Yeah. So, no, he doesn't need to call me back.
Oh, do you want to leave your phone number or no?
He has it. He called me.
Okay, so you don't want me to forward that on?
No.
Okay.
No, because I didn't want to talk about the good times, about who Ciera was, because everybody knows what's been going on for a long time. So, he has medical files, police records, and correction records to formulate his opinion.
So you don't want me to make a request for him to call you?
No. No, I just wanted to know what's going on because as far as I know, my daughter could be alive.
Unfortunately, I honestly don't have those details. Corporal Johnny would be the one who would have the best details. He's from the Serious Crime Unit.
Serious Crime Unit?
Yeah, I'm sure he let you know that.
No, he didn't.
Okay, so yeah, he's in the Serious Crime Unit.
Serious?
Yeah. So,
what is Serious Crime Unit? That's the first time I heard serious.
So basically what it means is that so we have frontline policing, which is what this is.
Okay.
And then there's a general investigation unit, which is kind of a higher threshold, so they would take over files that maybe require a little bit more investigation and more resources than we would have. We're responding to 911 calls out here.
Yeah.
And then serious crimes would take over a file that maybe is above the grade of those people. So maybe it has even more investigative steps that need to be taken.
But not as serious as murder investigation.
So my guess is that hasn't been determined right now.
But that's a different department.
Yes, that would be IHIT.
IHIT.
Yeah, Integrated Homicide.
Well, my daughter was murdered in her home in April of 2018.
Questions I can answer?
Yeah, my daughter Chorney was murdered in 2018.
Sorry, unfortunately I'm not aware of...
I know, but anyway, there was an investigation eventually.
Okay.
And then I'm just wondering what kind of investigative team was investigating that one if it was based on suspicion of murder. It wouldn't be IHIT.
I wouldn't have those answers. You'd have to call and find out. You call the non-emergency and talk to our watch commander.
So that's the little bedroom right in there. Right there was the body. You go in the door and then there's a door frame and something happened right there. And there's definitely a back driveway with a back door. Maybe just a bit more. Maybe just a bit more. Okay, people, do you see that car? That's a car, my neighbor's car, that's just sitting there. Has no license plate. Okay, go to the next one. This one right here. Do you see this car? They have two cars sitting on their property with no license plates, like uninsured cars. So for the city to sit up there and, oh my God, what's the city of Surrey doing right there?
They're doing work or something. They're doing concrete. They're doing concrete right there.
Yeah, but they're harassing me though. That's the problem. Oh, I see. They're just doing that one over there. But yeah, no, they're coming on the 19th. Chop off my arms or something. My feet.